All right, folks, you're on Gonzo Styles Radio. This is our first show. This is the couch. Unfortunately, I'm not on the red couch today. Shit happens. It is what it is. But we are live. We got Mesn from Rhyme Sick, dope ass fucking artist here. We're gonna talk with him a little bit, kind of hang out, chill, and we got a little something special here at the end. All right. So if you are watching, if we have anybody out there watching, you guys can comment and we will definitely check out your comments, ask him questions, and we'll hook it up for you. All right. So, brother, let's jump right into this. I read in your bio that you started rapping when you were 8 years old.
Yeah,
How did that happen? How did an 8-year-old go, I want to start rapping? This is what I want to do.
bro. When I was a little kid, like the first hip hop influence that I ever really had, like I was a juggalo. Like I'm still a juggalo, but like I grew
Yeah,
up listening to ICP and shit, and Twisted and people like that, and then like I remember being a little kid, bro. I was 8 years old, and like as I got older, and like I hear people like Esham and shit like that, and people were just super fucking fresh, and like I would like go to school and shit, and I'd tell people I'd be like, yo, check this shit out I wrote, and I would spit like Esham lyrics to him and be like, yo, I
right.
wrote this shit, you know. And then from like that point on, it was just like it just kept going and going. Like honestly, by the time I was 12 years old, somebody was like, you should just stop rapping, bro. Like that's a one in a million opportunity, and like you're probably never even gonna get nowhere with it, so you should probably just give up. And I was like, fuck it. And I really got into like artwork and graffiti and shit like that. But as I got older, I got back into it, like freestyling and shit. But honestly, being a rapper was something I never really had in mind.
Yeah, it's just something to do at the time.
Yeah, when I was a kid, when I was in high school, like all my homies would come. I had dropped out by the time I was 15, and all my homies would come over to my pad, and we would just smoke and like freestyle. We would just freestyle all day long, and they would
Right.
go back home, or they would go back to school. I mean, while I stayed at home. And when I would stay at my pad, I just freestyle all day, all day, all day, and then they come back after school, or like if they ditched or something like that, they'd come by, and my homeboy Shane was just like, bro, you really need to go to the studio because like you're really getting good at this shit, and I was like, nah, bro, like this isn't for me, like I'm not a rapper, so and then like I ended up in the studio one day with him, and from there I was just like, yo, I guess like I didn't want to leave, to be honest, bro. Like once I was in front of the microphone, I was like, fuck, this is home for me.
Right. Were you real nervous when you first started?
Yeah, I'm not gonna front, bro. Like I was nervous, but like when I listened to my old shit, like my very first song I ever recorded, like that shit was garbage, bro. Like that's what I always
Yeah.
tell people. Like all these artists and shit, like everybody who like is just starting and shit, like if people talk down on you and shit like that, like I even me, bro, like I wasn't good. I didn't think my music was good at all when I first started doing music. Like I wouldn't show nobody my very first track. I wouldn't shit for real.
Guaranteed someone's going to search for it. They're going to want to find it now.
Yeah, I mean, you might be able to find it. It was still when MySpace was a thing, bro. Like that's how long ago that shit was. We were putting our shit up on MySpace and fucking
Yeah.
like I believe we deleted our MySpace and we don't have our MySpace no more. So I don't think nobody can find those tracks. But if they do, then shit, send them to me. Let me know
All
because I want to
right.
get off the internet.
Right. Absolutely. What do you think was hardest to get when you first started getting going? Was it like when you were doing it on your own? Was it finding the beat? Was it making beats? Or was it just a lyricism to it, or just the overall sound?
Well, when I first started, when I was doing shit with my homie Shane, he was a producer, so he made all the beats. Like we was using Fruity Loops and shit, and we would just make all of our own beats and shit. And then
Yeah.
fucking like as time went on, like I'm not a producer, like I'm not into that shit. Like I know how to use Fruity Loops and I know how to make beats and I have, but that shit's really fucking time consuming, bro.
Oh
Like
yeah,
you
it
gotta,
is.
yeah, you gotta spend a lot of time on that shit. So I don't really fuck with shit like that. So like for me, like I think the most like is the hardest part is definitely writing, like sitting there and thinking and coming up with the concept and fucking, three verses. This is why a lot of people like want to do rap groups and shit like that. And that I'll write one verse, you write the other verse. Like it's hard writing three verses and shit like that. You know, it's not an easy
Oh
thing.
yeah,
So
most definitely. Most
writing
definitely.
the music, I
Good.
record and mix like I record and mix my own shit, and like that's not easy either. But I think writing is definitely like the most time consuming and like the hardest part of making a track for sure.
All right. When did you get your kind of we'll say your first big break? Like when did you start getting label attention?
Well, shit. When I first started doing music, like I'd been doing shit locally myself with this group called Ill Advisory, and they had a low buzz before I got down with them. And then like the very first show that I did with them was for Chris Calico, and that shit was popping, bro. Like it was my very first big show that I had done, and then like from there we had always like tried to never like go from Chris Calico to just a local show, and like
Yeah.
if we do local shows, like there has to be good incentive for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
the thing is, like, it got to a point where I wanted to find a label because I was just like not happy where I was at. So
Yeah.
I was like, I need to find a label and somebody that at the time I honestly hadn't even known. I didn't even know Static. Um, I was in this battle league called Body Bag Battles and Cushion Coffins, and I met Doc Seuss. And through the battle league, I'd heard about Rhyme Sick and shit. And Seuss was like, "Yeah, I've been on tour, and like my label mate Static, he's the one who owns the label, and he takes all of us on tour and shit." And one day I did a show at the Roxy in Denver, and I had seen Seuss's shirt on the table at one of the merch tables, and I was like, "Yo, this is my homeboy. This is my homeboy." And Lex, who was one of the managers at the time, was like, "Yeah, that's my artist. You know, I'm one of the managers on Rhyme Sick." And I was like, "Oh, that's what's up." And I was working with Il Silla at the time, and I was telling him like we really needed to look for a label and somewhere that we could push, like someone that can help us get off our feet. And um, he ended up signing with Slow Pain, and I ended up signing with Rhyme Sick. And it really wasn't like I don't really think that it was like I caught the attention of Rhyme Sick. They really weren't like scouting nobody. Like I approached them. I hit up Lex and was like, "Yo, fucking, I'm looking for a label and I'm trying to like make moves with you guys, and I was wondering if you're interested in signing anybody." And it just kind of went from there. They, at first Static was even like, "Well, why do you want to sign?" Because at the time we started getting our own merch and we were like doing big shows, and like we pretty much had our own thing going on.
Yeah.
And the thing was for me, was for me was that I wanted Static was going on tours and shit. Nobody in Denver goes on tours and shit. I want to say that right now. Like honestly, like we do a month. We'll do like a month max, and like me and Static have talked about this, and I'm like, even a month, bro. Like, a lot of people don't call month long fucking tours. Like, we're talking about like 6 months. That's a tour. You know what I'm saying? So like, a
Yeah.
lot of people in Denver and like a lot of people out here, they'll be like, oh, we went to 5 states. That's a tour. No, bro, that's a road trip. You didn't go on tour. That was a road
Right.
trip. I don't like that shit, but I wanted that. Like I wanted that. Like I told Static when me and Static talked, and he was like, "Well, why? Like what's your incentive? What do you want to sign with us for?" And I'm like, "Bro, I just want what you guys got. Like you guys are going on tour. You guys got a big merch game. Like pretty much, I had seen someone in Denver that was working harder than me, and I was like, fuck, man, I really wanted to be a part of that.
Right. No, it makes a lot of sense, man. For sure. They put you right on to a couple big tours too, didn't they? Like the Little White tour. Was that your first tour?
Actually, I went on a tour before that, and it was
Okay.
Static G's first headlining tour, the All Out of Normal tour, and it was still a pretty big deal for us because not only was it Static's first headlining tour, but we got to be the ones who co-headlined it. At the time, it was me and Jim because we were still in a group at the time, and we went on tour with Static for his first headlining tour, and then yeah, my second tour was with Lil White. My third tour ended up being with Project Pat, and then we just got off tour with Crooked Eye and OB Trice and Swifty McVeigh.
Yeah. That's just badass. That's some heavy tours to get started on. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely an experience for sure because no matter what, no matter about the money that's spent on the road, whether we make, whether we lose, whether we break even, like no amount of money could take away or pay for the amount of happiness or the experience that you get when you're on the road. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. What let me see here. How would you label your music? Like, where do you think it fits in? Like, what genre do you think it fits in? Because I know a lot of the guys coming out of Colorado started in the horrorcore, the Juggalo stuff. You know, big
Yeah,
LSPD fans and shit. You know, where do you think you fit in on the genres?
I kind of think that I'm like I at first, bro. Like I'm not gonna front. When I first started, I kind of fit into that category. Like I was just real more like fuck you. If I'm not just as good as you, then I'm better than you. You know, like that was.
Right?
I think that's like every rapper first starts rapping. I think that's what they do because it's like they're here to prove a point. You know.
Yeah.
Um, but after that, like as I grew as an artist and started doing music more and more, like I really want to approach the mainstream aspect of music, and like that's what I try to put my that's the category I try to put myself in, you know, because I focus on something that's more, you know, radio friendly and like mainstream wise where everybody could enjoy it, you know. Like I know that I do have a lot of Juggalo fans, you know, and like I'll be on Facebook and like cracking jokes on Juggalos and talking shit and like this and that. But like I said, I've been a Juggalo since I was 7, bro. So like it's all just fun and games. You know what I'm saying? Like honestly, like ICP is garbage now. You know what I'm saying? Juggalos are
I
garbage
can
now.
agree. I can agree with
And
the
you know,
ICP thing, man.
I was gonna say, bro, like I feel like no matter what, like I have every right to say that shit because I'm a fucking juggler. I've been a juggler for fucking over a decade, over 2 decades, bro. So I could say that ICP sucks. I could say that garbage.
See, you've been doing it longer than I have. I went like a reverse way around into everything. I came out of punk rock, you know what I mean? Then I got in like Cottonmouth Kings and shit. Like I got family relations and shit with them. Got into them. They turned me on to the fucking ICP and everything else. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. But like, I guess I'd be considered new gen because fucking I came in with like Twisted and shit. Like that's more my shit right there because they even though it's got the horrorcore feel, they also come at you with like different sounds, different ways of doing the music and shit. You know, I appreciate them still. You know, I know I'm gonna catch
Yeah,
a lot of heat online for it, but it is what it is. You know, fucking, I'm a juggalo. I'll always be a juggalo because I got fucking letters, 10-inch letters across my chest. You know what I mean? It says juggalo right on it. You know, I don't forget where I'm
but
coming
no,
from.
but like honestly, I feel like especially like that's why I say like Juggalos is garbage nowadays too, bro. Because that shit wouldn't even like exist, and there wouldn't even be like no fucking separation if it wasn't for like new school Juggalos. Because like any Juggalo who's been down since you know the first deck, and like people who was down since
Yeah,
Riddle Box and like they know that like a Juggalo is a Twisted fan too. You know what I'm saying? They're Juggalos too. Like what the
right.
fuck? Now we're separate. Now we separated. Like what the fuck?
It don't
So
make
the thing
sense,
is, like, for me, like I said, with ICP and like Psychopathic, and them being like my first influence when it came to like music, and like the first music I really listened to and appreciated. Jamie Madrox was definitely like my first influence when it came to rap, bro, because
he can fucking
he's
spit.
the best. Like nobody's better than Jamie Madrox on Psychopathic. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely. So with your music, now we kind of know where the genre and stuff is. Now with your music, where do you get a lot of your inspirations from? Like you said, it's kind of hard to do the writing and stuff. Like, so where do you draw your inspiration from? Is it from, like how you grown up, anything like that, politics? Like, where do you find your inspiration?
like honestly, like I fucking I try not to rap about real life. Like I try not to rap about my life. Oh shit, my fault.
Oh, sorry,
My life,
brother.
my life and experience, like real experiences, because like really for me, music is a way to escape reality. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I don't want to fucking sit there and like make music about like hard times or like experiences that I've had when like I have to live with that shit. So I don't want to make a song about it, then listen to it, and then have to remember that fucking shitty moment or that shitty experience. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because it's going to define you as a person, but it doesn't have to define you as an artist. Then, kind of right.
Well, then that's the thing, bro. Like my, I don't really have a message in my music because, like I said, I want to be mainstream. So it's just like money, bitches, shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
But um, the influence, like a lot of my biggest influences, like if we're just talking music in general, like Michael Jackson is definitely my biggest influence. So like when it comes to music and being an entertainer, like he's my biggest influence. But like hip hop wise, like my top five in order would probably be like Lil Wayne, Eminem, Tyler the Creator, Tech Nine. You know what I'm saying? That's probably like my biggest influences, top five hip hop wise.
I can I can definitely dig with that. Definitely. Okay. Do you got what do you got going on now? You going to be going on tour? You got some new releases or anything?
Um, I'm working on a new mixtape right now, and I've been working on like a all like original albums so I can put on iTunes and shit. Cause right now everything I put out has just been mixtapes. So I'm working on a new mixtape right now called "Sorry My Mom Savage," and that'll probably drop like I'm thinking like March is when I want it to drop. I
All
already
right.
have about 7 tracks done for the project, but I usually put about 15 songs on all my projects. That's usually like my go-to. I always it has to be like 5, 10, 15, 20, a multiple of 5. But I usually go with 15 so that way people have at least like an hour of music to listen to. And then
Definitely.
I'm working on like a all original project right now, and I've been like purchasing beats and shit and collecting those and getting that shit ready. And that won't come out for a while though, cause like I really want to work on that shit. Like I want that shit to be fire. So
No,
and then
absolutely.
right now we're just doing some spot dates. We was just in Kansas last night. We was in Topeka. Before the night before that, we was in Missouri. We was doing the haystack shows out there. Um, and then we go to Utah on Wednesday, and then or no, actually Omaha. I'm sorry, Omaha on Wednesday. We go to Utah after that, and I believe both of those are do or die shows. And then we end with a couple more haystack shows, and then we'll be back on the road in like late December. I think it's late December or like right at January. We'll be back on the road again.
Right on. Yeah, you got like was it like a 60-day tour or something like that?
Well, this oh you said
Or
for
60?
January or yeah.
January, December.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as far as I know, like, as far as I know, we're not gonna be home for a minute. Like, I don't know the exact date and time, but like, I know we're gonna be gone for some months. Well, once we leave on this next tour for like, because I know the Stack is Back tour is coming up, and I know that's when we leave again. That's when we're taking
Okay.
off, and we're gonna be gone for a little minute. We probably won't be back until like March.
All right. How's it working with Stack? Like the experience of like being on stage, sharing the stage and everything with him.
You know, that's crazy, bro. Like, this was the first time that I performed at a Haystack show aside from Rhymesick Fest. And this, Rhymesick Fest was the first time that I got to meet Stack and shit. And we didn't really, make acquaintance like that. Like, we didn't chill. We were both busy that night. It was
Yeah,
more of a
absolutely.
business. But, when I met him in Missouri this time, it was tight, bro, because to see the love that he got's not just for, you know, the people and the fans and stuff, but like the fact, like just rhyme sick. He wasn't just like he's not the type of person that's like looking out for himself. Like he looks out for everybody, bro. He's a good dude, and I got a lot of respect for him. We was
Absolutely.
out there, we was out there in Missouri, and it was time for us to go on stage. And right before we went on stage, he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna get up here. I'm gonna introduce us. Like I'm gonna introduce you guys and shit like that." He stayed on stage with us and like backed us up and shit, bro. Like he's a real humble person, bro. I got a lot of respect for his like it's tight to be able to work with a artist at his caliber and like to be able to learn and fucking experience shit with him. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've been a big fan of Haystack for a while. Like I've talked to Static and shit. I'm hoping to get him on here soon. Like his music and like what he's gone through, a lot of us have gone through, and like it really affects me. Like again, it's good to hear how humble and shit he is, because that's what I noticed about Rhymesick. All you guys are good, humble dudes with some big personalities. You know what I mean? But you guys are humble as hell. Gonzo Sal started out as a small little like Facebook page with a really good idea and shit. And we did a written interview through my homeboy Vandal with Static, and then we ran into Static later on. fucking at a Gorefest 2 years ago. He was like, "Yeah, I know who you guys are and shit." I'm like, "Dude, fucking got like 200 likes on the page and shit." Like, you know what I mean? But like, he knew, and he was just humble as fuck. You're humble as fuck. You know what I mean? And that's what I was kind of hoping to do with this interview because we're gonna get to your savageness, bro. Your memes and posts are constant fucking laughter for me and my lady for the Living Dead Groves. Fortunately, can't be on tonight, but it's fucking awesome, bro. All right,
Sometimes
so
I'm getting afraid. Like I'm still trying to figure out how I haven't been kicked off Facebook or some shit.
right, because you're definitely savage, bro. Fucking now here's anything else you want to say on the music part there?
Um,
Covered releases,
I mean,
tours.
other like really, I don't have nothing like plan really like long term like that. Other than like we're just trying to end off for this year and like get ready and get started for the next year. Like I said, we just got them tours coming up, and as of right now, like I'm super focused on that. I've really been more like I've been apprenticing at the tattoo shop, so like I'm fucking like really super trying to like put a lot of my time and focus into tattooing now and shit like that. But
Right.
like as far as music goes and shit, like I guess just like be on the lookout for a lot of new rhyme sick shit, bro. Like not just coming from me, but like expect some really dope shit coming from Static, bro. He's been working on his new album, and that shit is crazy, bro. Like all I can really say on that, like without giving too much details, is like it's gonna be different. It's gonna be different than anything Static has ever put out, bro. So um, I know that Smoke Signals has something new coming out. They got something in the works, and I don't know. I don't know exactly when. I'm not trying to like put any kind of time frame on it, but I know that they
Right.
got something coming out. Uh,
Right.
I don't know about Haystack or like what he has planned, like music wise or like with the new album, but I'm pretty sure that he got something new coming out too, bro. There's gonna be a lot of things coming out this next year from Rhymesick, bro. So that's really
Yeah.
like music wise. That's all I can say is like just expect a lot of fucking dope music.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Dude, you guys have been doing big things. Just like some of the posts for like the free giveaways and shit. Outrageous the amount of comments and the amount of activity they get. You know, you guys are definitely putting the footwork in. You guys definitely have a good base. I'm solid behind you guys. I got my hat, fucking got my fucking rhyme stick I put on myself. Yeah, work on a little bit, you know. But still,
Yeah,
like rhyme stick, you guys are killing it, dude. I think next year you guys are gonna blow fucking huge. Um, art. I want to jump into art coming because I love graffiti, bro, and that's one of the things I first noticed with you. Because honestly, with all artists, like I might catch a song or two, and then I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna put it back because I don't want the music to influence me. Because like if I'm gonna support somebody, I want to kind of get to know them. You know what I mean? I want to see what they're about. You know, because I hate be like all into something and then realize like that motherfucker's a scumbag. The fuck I've been supporting this music for? You know, like I like to get the understanding of the people. You know, and their music and shit. Art wise, what got you into the graffiti though?
bro. Like really, graffiti is what got me into hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't feel hip hop like that. Like that's why when people are always like, oh, hip hop music, and like they define music as like hip hop the genre. I'm like, no, hip hop is not a genre of music. Hip hop is a lifestyle, bro. That's the type of life we live.
Right,
I was brought into hip hop and like introduced to hip hop because of graffiti. So I'm like, really, hip hop to me has nothing to do with my rap music. Hip hop is my lifestyle, my artwork, the way I express myself, my love, my energy. That's hip hop, bro. So
right.
like for me, I was 13 when I was uh, when I first got introduced to graffiti, bro. And my homeboy Derek, I was young, I was real young, and I used to watch him tag on everything, bro. Like he's good, he's a really good artist, and he got me into it, and like I just started bombing all the time. And I remember as a little kid, I'm like, yo, what am I gonna write, bro? What am I gonna write? And I was 13. I was 13 years old, bro, and I was like, I'm gonna write freestyle, and I would write it, and I'm like, yo, this is like fucking 9 letters, bro. I can't fucking sit here and write 9 letters. Sit 10 minutes and write 9 letters. So one day we were chilling at the pad, and we when I was a kid, bro, like every young kid goes through this little thing where they go through this little gang banging phase, and they think they're gang bangers. And we
Yeah.
thought we was little gangbangers when we was young. And we would put like a upside down W. We would put a regular E. We would put a S with a slash through it, and then we would put a backwards N. You know what I'm saying? So every other thing was dissed except the E. And then the fucked up thing was my ass grew up in the south side, bro. I was nowhere near the east side. Like, what the fuck? So one day I was writing that on a piece of paper, and my homeboy was like, "Hey, bro, that says Mesn," and I was like, "Yeah, that's gonna be my name. That's gonna be my new graph name, bro." So ever since I was 13, I just went with Mesn. Fucking, I was really into graffiti, bro, and like I just kept practicing and practicing and practicing, and I've been drawing and painting since I was 13, since I was a child, you know. So
Yeah.
that's where all that shit came from. I always tell people like it took me. I had to fuck up 1,000 times before I could make 100 good canvases. You know, like
Absolutely. Like for me, I think it's easier for me to see the layers in the art. Like when I fucking spray, where I scratch, whatever I do, I like to take whatever's around me, whether it's fucking chalk. You know what I mean? Like I like to do layers of stuff. I like a lot of contrast. You know what I mean? To make things stick out. Like where you've turned this way, it's another way. Um, so it's easier for me to break down the layers in the art and to express myself that way with it. Um, One thing I noticed with especially with graffiti and stuff, like I'm 40, so like I'm from California, from San Bernardino, and like the tag bangers, man, and the taggers, like they were really putting out some beautiful work and shit. Motherfuckers were dying over it, but they were putting out some really badass work. It came away from the fucking simple fucking box letters and stuff. Like I never got into the whole mobbing and shit, but it seems like there's not really that push anymore. When you're finding artists that actually do graffiti, it's more, should I say, civilized. There's less people doing it, and it's for the love of the art. More people following the Banksy way of stuff, I guess, is a good way of saying it.
and now that you say that, bro, that's really true because there's a lot of blocks, bro, miles. They just paint whole buildings, like whole. It's like it's crazy. It's a tight thing to see everybody come together and like a lot of people, you worry. You're like, oh fuck, well, am I gonna go and is this graph crew gonna run into this graph crew and is there gonna be beef with this fool and shit like
Right.
that. But at the end of the day, bro, like it's really dope. What are y'all breaking out there? They broke something out there, bro.
Uh oh. Your video was kind of cutting out just a little bit there, but I think we all caught pretty much what you were saying there. I really actually, fucking. Uh, I can't bring up the comments on here. I don't even know if we're being viewed right now. I pretty much my questions are on my phone. I'm gonna say screw my phone. Let's see if we got people hopping on here. Um,
Right.
Hey, speaking of Banksy, bro, did you hear about the art of his that was sold? And right when they sold it, somebody was in the audience and they pushed a button on something and it remote controlled, made the picture drop through a shredder that was in the frame. So it fucking
Yeah.
dropped through and shredded this fucking multi-million-dollar piece.
I was checking out that like he went through this whole thing where he actually when he had built the frame, like he had all of it planned and he built the fucking shredder into the frame of the picture, bro. And I'm just like, wow.
That's crazy. Do you know the reason
And
why
you
he
know,
was
this
doing
is the
it?
craziest thing about all of it. Like, once they fucking shredded the paper, like once it started shredding, instead of like being all pissed off and not selling it or this and that, they like literally was like, "Yo, we'll sell it for like 10,000 a strip." You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck?
Wow. See, and that's what he's kind of protesting against was the main taken away from, what they do, the whole street art, where it's just rich people buying up all of his stuff. They're not too happy with. There's another couple other artists that are having that same issue with it. I think nowadays. I'll tell you what though, bro. Fucking appreciate you coming on, being the first one on, ever on the couch or ever on, Gonzo Styles Radio here. Um, because we got like one person in chat, so you're gonna have to come back when we have more people checking in with us. It's a building thing here.
I appreciate you guys having me on here, dog. And like I said, it's all about the love and networking, and that's what it's about. That's why I like how you was talking about being humble and shit, bro. Like we really focus and like focus on being humble because a lot of these rappers nowadays, like it's like you remember meeting your artist when he was like barely your favorite artist when he was like barely up and coming, and like they're super humble, they're super cool, and then once they hit that point, it's like you don't really hear from them, they don't fuck with you, they change and they act different. We really pride ourselves on not being like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we
All
try to
right.
make sure that we keep in touch with our fans as much as possible. Like we try to stay on a personal level and like try to be as accessible as possible. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why like if people get mad at like if we're not replying to comments or excuse me replying to messages and shit like that, it's like sometimes our inboxes just get so fucking flooded and then messages get pushed directly to the bottom and we don't even know people messaged us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's nothing personal. You know what I'm saying? It's just like sometimes you get to that point, but like we really try to like always make sure that we talk to everybody that's hitting us up. And when we did the contest and we got all the comments and as many people was hitting us up and like you know trying to enter for the contest, like we was really surprised at how many people supported and like actually represented Rhymesick and like was down for us. That shit was crazy. So much love to everybody that was on that post and shit.
Absolutely. Again, that's why I think I got people either associated or on Rhymesick fucking for like most of my first interviews, other than Force 5 Records. Louis Cohen, the guy that does the videos and stuff, he's going to come on for an interview sometime next week. Then we also have Tony Reaper.
Oh yeah, they're both Rhymesick affiliates. Louis does the
Yeah.
videos for Rhymesick, and Tony Reaper. As far like I don't know exactly which state, but I know that he fucks with Rhymesick, and he's definitely Rhymesick affiliated heavy. So that's what's up.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, trying to show love back to you guys. You guys have shown me nothing but love. And yeah, you're right about the messages and stuff. Like, I know I hit Static up one day. Maybe 2 or 3 days later, he's going to hit me up. Like, it's whatever. Like, I hit him up the other day because I made some orders from Rhymesick and got a couple other things coming to me. So I was like, hey, bro, what's up? Fucking, this is what I need, whatever, whatever. And he's like, all right, bro, got you. Took a couple days, but yeah, fuck it. You guys are busy. People forget artists have personal lives too. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, bro, is like a lot of people don't really get to see what Static is going through, especially, and I bring up Static because he's definitely by far been the busiest out of all of us, bro.
Right?
I mean, Static been on the road since December last year. You know what I'm saying? We're coming up to December now, and it's like he's been on the road for a full fucking year. Like,
Yeah.
uh, okay, May. We have May as a break, like no tour, no nothing. But other than that, he's been on the road and he's been working. So like, Static definitely stays busy, and out of everybody, like, I had to tell people because even people were asking me like, "Yo, what's up with you and Static? You guys don't really talk and this and that." I'm like, "Yo, he's on the road. It's not that me and my brother don't talk. It's that he's busy. And when he's on the road, like, I still talk to him. We still talk. It's just like I don't get to see him every day, or you don't see us taking pictures and posting pictures because he'll be on. Like I'm not on every tour. I got a kid at home. Sometimes I'm just trying to work on my personal shit and like work on my CDs and shit like that. But the majority of the time, I try to stay on the road with him. I try to be on the road, but like with everything that had happened this year, like through right before right before 2018, like right before the new year, a whole bunch of bullshit happened. And for like the new year, I left the label for a little bit and then came back for right like I was probably gone for like 2 months or some shit, and then came back, and like it was just all this craziness. You know what I'm saying? So aside from all that, like Static stays busy, and like aside from the personal bullshit, and aside from Static staying busy all the time, we always stay in touch. Like me and I will always stay in touch, but he stay busy. Sometimes it's hard for me to get in touch with that fool, you know.
Right. Okay. Now we're gonna switch up to the other thing. Where did the hashtag sorry mom I'm a savage come from? I don't think I said that right, but
No, yeah, that was it. Sorry, Mom, I'm savage. We went to the mall one day. I was with my brother Rob, bro, and his son was there. His son is 6 years old, and we're mobbing through the garage parking lot, like one of them big fucking tower like parking lots and shit. And
yeah.
we're mobbing, and it's the whole family, bro. It's me, Rob. It was his wife and his 3 kids. And Wawa's the youngest, bro. He's 6 years old. And we're mobbing through the garage parking lot, and this little fool just like rips ass off it, bro, like so loud. It was in the garage. It was in the garage parking, so like it just echoed loud as fuck. And his mom was like, "Yo, bro, like what the fuck?" And he was like, "Sorry, mom, I'm savage." And I was like, "Oh my god!" I said right there, I was like, "That's gonna be the name of my project." That's gonna
Right.
be the my project. So like the font, like the cover of my album and shit. Like my daughter did that. My daughter did the cover for my album, but the whole like name and idea and concept. That's where that shit came from. Bro. Like, I couldn't even make that up if I wanted to.
Yeah, because we noticed with your posts and stuff, like, dude, you're savage. Like, you're talking the other day, like, fucking, dude, you can't marry me and shit. I'm a side nigga. Like, fucking, like, this ain't working like that. Like,
And like going back to like talking about like the message in music and shit like that. Like I don't really expect people to get a like. I don't want them to judge me based off my music the same way I really don't want people to judge me off my posts. But like my posts are grindy, bro. Like my posts can be offensive as fuck, and like I mean I'm a cool person. Like I'm not. The thing is I'm not like looking to offend nobody. I don't want to make nobody upset or like ruin anybody's day. Like I'm just trying to make people laugh, jokes. You know what I'm saying? So like. Uh, a lot like on some real shit, bro. Everything that I post, there was a couple things that I posted like about how when fools get on my comments on their girls' pictures talking about, oh look how thirsty this fool is and blah blah blah. When I posted that, like I didn't like steal that from anything else, but like 90% of my posts are like stolen memes, bro. Like I don't even make that
I've
shit
seen
up.
you
I
say
just
that before.
yeah,
Uh,
that's why I always tell people they're like, yo, like someone had made a remark and was like, yo, someone's super salty or something. And I'm like, I'm not salty. I just steal my fucking memes from people.
right. I was kind of going through the Facebook and shit here. Bitches be spending $60 on Victoria's Secret panties for pussy that ain't no secret.
Bro,
You
it's
killing it
true
with
though.
it.
You know what I'm saying? It's true. I would have posted if I didn't think like it wasn't true. Not all
Right,
bitches. Hey, not all. We'll make that clear. Not all bitches. Because you know
right.
why? Not all bitches can afford $60 panties. That's why.
Very true. He's shopping at Walmart and shit. Fucking. One of my other favorite ones you did recently was I'm trying to get some head so fucking sloppy I gotta wipe my ass when I get up. Fucking about
Bro.
died, bro. About fucking died.
That's savage, bro.
Right, it is savage, and that pretty much brings me to the point. We have another show we're going to be doing next week. It's called Savage Society, right? And we're just pretty much me and Van Brando from Cult Music. Cult Music is one of our sponsors. I should shout out Cult Music, Funny Farm Records, and Sexy as Fuck, all sponsors of this channel. Um, but Brando's gonna come on because me and him been talking shit for a couple years, and like, oh, brother, you're fucking savage. No, 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 bro, you're fucking savage, right? We started doing like some savage rules and shit, kind of like How I Met Your Mother. They got the bro rules and stuff. Fucking so we're gonna do a show just on savage posts, memes, fucking videos, savage moments in history, shit, stuff like that. Um, but we also got another thing we're doing, and we're not sure exactly how we're working it, where we're gonna have people vote or whatever for like a top savage person. But we do have a very select list. We're gonna put in the Savage Hall of Fame, and I'll be making you something. Send it to you. Because we're gonna put you in that Savage Hall of Fame, bro. Because you're fucking savage as fuck. You're
Bro, I
definitely going in
appreciate
our
that.
Hall of Fame. You're gonna be the first inductee. So I like to announce that today. You
I
fucking
appreciate that.
most definitely, brother. I knew you would, because only a savage person's gonna appreciate some shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And I'm glad we get to speak about this at the end of it. Because people kind of got to see you for you. You know what I mean? Beyond the music, beyond the art, beyond the posts and stuff, they got to see Mesn. You know what I mean? And I think that's
And that's
that's
the thing,
it
bro,
directly
like,
relates to people.
yeah, for real. Because that's like, at the end of the day, like I said, it's really not like the message through my music or my Facebook post. Like, it's moments like this where people could see the real me. Because honestly, bro, like, I'm just about like love and positivity. And like, I don't, people may not believe it. Like, I'm not like a religious person or nothing like that, but I love God. Like, I'm really into God, bro. Like, I'm a big God fan. I'm a big fan of that guy. Um,
Right,
So like, there's a lot of people like that would probably judge a book by its cover and like expect me not to be the type of person that I am. But like, I'm really cool, bro. Like, I'm really not like an asshole and shit. Like, don't piss me off. I don't want to be mad. I don't want to be pissed off. Like, I'm 110 pounds, 5'6", so I'm not gonna fight you. But my homie Valley probably gonna sock you in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? So
right. No, but
I
I've
don't.
heard you get down, bro. I've heard you like was people be talking shit on Static, Rhyme Sick, or whatever. I've seen you really get at them and shit like that. Just shut the fuck up, meet me here. Shut the fuck up,
Yeah,
meet me.
bro. Like, I'm the type of person where like I'll just post my phone number. Like, I don't do rap beef or like diss tracks or like Facebook shit talk. Like, even when I do get on Facebook and say something, like I tag you. Like, if I'm talking about you or talking about someone personally, like I'll tag that person so they can see directly what I'm saying. Like, I'm not gonna just talk some shit sideways and like then on top of that, like I've even had like homeboys tell me like, "Yo, you shouldn't say that. You shouldn't do that on Facebook because it makes you look soft." And I'm like, "Nah, I'm gonna say that you're gonna get beat up on Facebook. Then you're gonna get beat up, and I'm gonna get back on Facebook and still keep talking shit." You know what I'm saying? So I
Right.
mean,
Very, very
and like
understandable.
it's not like that. Like especially now that like we're at the level that we're at. Like I'm not about beef. Like I'm not about like fucking trying to like hate. I want nobody hating on me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just about networking. It's about love, positivity, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like we're just trying to eat, and
Right.
everybody should respect that. Everybody should be able to respect the next man's hustle because everybody knows what it's like to want food on their plate. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, big believer in the fucking I want to come up, but I want you to come up and you to come up and you to come up. I just want you guys to do the work, the same as what I'm putting in. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
bro. Shit.
that's the only people I fuck with. Like, I'm very select on who I fuck with because I realize that I can't rap, I can't sing. You know what I mean? Like, it's very minimum the things I can do. My art's more of a personal thing nowadays. I do very limited tattoos and stuff. Like, I wanted to do this. I got turned on to this. They're like, dude, you're good at what you do because you take your street skills and you apply them to everything else, but you still have your integrity to it. So that's why I always expect out of everybody I mess with, including all you guys there, Force Five, Cold Music, Funny Farm, and several other little, labels and shit I like to fuck with because they stay cool, But just because people are beefing and shit, I know where I have to sit. And it's just like when it was on the streets and shit. I couldn't get in the middle of all the beef and shit. I'm trying to make my green. I want to make my money.
Yeah.
Right. So it's the same thing with like what I do now. I try and stay out all that shit. I just want the love. You know what I mean? Because that's what I'm hearing for is love.
Yeah, bro.
Fucking, you know what I mean? It's all about the
Mhm.
love. I want to. At the end of the day, I want to fucking be like dude from SLC Punk and shit when he's trying to talk about the birth of punk rock, whether it's East England or over here Ramones, Sex Pistols, whatever. It's like fuck it, I don't care. We did it bigger, faster, and with more love. You know what I mean? And that's what I like to fuck with is people that feel the same way. And I definitely get that vibe from Rhyme Sick, from you, Static. Fucking hey, motherfuckers doing some shit, man. Fucking one fan here. I'm fucking proud of y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. Straight up.
Like if I ever got a dick ass artist on here, bro, it would be the most horrible, horrible interview because I feed off of everybody else. Like you're talking about your nerves. Shit, I got nerves like a motherfucker before I came on. I felt like Eminem and shit, thinking I'm throwing up mom spaghetti and shit just to jump on here and do this. I know a lot of people got like a certain way they want to be held and looked at. Fuck that. I just want to be real. You
Yeah, I
know,
feel you.
most definitely. And like people are like, "Oh, you're just doing another interview show." I'm like, no, fuck no. We're gonna get to know the artist, but we're gonna bullshit and kick with the artist because I want people to see how that person is. On the normal.
Yeah.
Most definitely. So, any shout outs or anything you got you want to throw out there before we get off of here?
Definitely, like first and foremost, bro, I definitely want to shout you guys out for having me on here tonight, bro. I really appreciate the time and the love, the support, everything that you guys have done. I really appreciate having me on the radio with you guys. This being the first one, honestly, bro, I never even really did like a video interview like this with somebody before, so this is tight. Like, I definitely want to give you guys a shout out and thank you guys for having me on. Shout out, of course, to Rhymesick and everybody on the label, bro. Shout out to Static, of course, for making all this shit possible. I appreciate that, fool. Shout out my mom, Prime Mom. None of this would be possible without her crazy ass. Um, and really, bro, like, just shout out to everybody that fucking supports and all the fans and everybody that is watching or is gonna watch and is gonna share and like that is continuing to fucking support and you know, keep pushing the movement, bro. Like, I appreciate every single one of you guys. So shout out to all you guys and fucking, the big man upstairs, bro. Shout out to God because, like I said earlier, like I'm a huge fan of that fuck. And without him, of course, none of this, not your guys' shit, not our shit, not anybody's shit would be possible. So like straight up, again, like appreciate you guys, of course, for fucking having me and shit like that. And next time you guys got something going on or you guys want me back on or something like that, let me know, bro, because I'm always more than down to come fuck with you guys.
Oh yeah, most definitely, bro. Any of the shows that I do, you're more than welcome to come on. Just pop on for a second or whatever, bro. You're always more than welcome to. Um, so I guess we'll go ahead and sign out here, guys. That was Mesn. Show him some love. Fucking go listen to some music on YouTube. Fucking follow him. Links. Where can we find you on your links?
You could check all my shit out at therealmesn.com. That's the real MESN.com.
All right. For sure. So you heard it, folks. None of this is possible unless not everybody can afford merch. Not everyone can go to the stores and stuff. But what you can do is share. You know what I mean? You can spark a conversation with other people, show people the music and stuff because you never know, what's going to work on from there. Much love to everybody out there. Much love to Mesn, Brian Stick, to our sponsors, Cult Music, Funny Farm Records, Sexy as Fuck. Stay tuned. We're going to have 3 or 4 shows coming up next week. I know we're doing 10 questions with King Duke from Sexy as Fuck Clothing there. He's going to come on with his show. We also got a podcast with Tommy the Roach Lucero, funny ass comedian out of San Diego. I was trying to get him on for a co-host tonight too. We did an interview with him about a month or so back. Good dude. He's a savage himself. I think all I do is fuck with savages, bro. All right, family out there. All right, Mesn. Much love,
Much love. Much love. I appreciate you. Hit me up.
All right, brother, for sure. Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt.